Hello friends, welcome to Infection Prevention and Control Practices for COVID-19. You have already studied the introduction of virus and how it spreads. In today's session, we will be dealing with infection prevention and control for this. And this session is very important, so it would be taken in two parts. In next session, you will be having second part of this. So I welcome you to the first part of this. The objective of our session would be, first we will introduce about these practices, then hand hygiene, PPE, that is personal protective equipments, cough etiquettes, cleaning and disinfection of the various environmental surfaces and our instruments. And finally, we will also look about the important points of biomedical waste management. So, benefits of infection prevention and control. The first and foremost is, by adhering to these practices, we are protecting ourselves. Because you know that how infectious this virus is, because many of the healthcare workers have been infected despite of taking all precaution. They have been infected with this virus. So strict adherence of this protocol would protect ourselves first. Then when we are protected and we are following that practice, we are not transmitting the infection from one patient to another patient. So it would be protecting our patients. And third and most important is protecting your family, community and the environment as a whole. Because if we are not carrying the infection, we will not transmit it to others. So it is very important. So we will take the elements of standard precaution one by one. The first and most important is hand hygiene. You must be knowing it is not only for COVID, but for any infection control procedure, hand hygiene is the most simple but most effective method of controlling the infection in the hospital. Then we'll see respiratory hygiene, that is cough etiquette, because medical professionals are the teachers and the leader of the healthcare system. So you need to teach your patients and the other sectors of the healthcare personnel regarding this. PPE, the need of PPE would be decided as per the risk involved in the procedure. The safe injection practices and sharp management and injury prevention. Safe handling, cleaning, disinfection of patient care equipment. Environmental cleaning, because if our environment is contaminated, we are increasing chance of spreading the infection. And very important is biomedical waste management. So hand hygiene, the WHO has suggested there are 5 moments where you are supposed to perform the hand hygiene. So in that, first is before touching the patient. So when you are going to the patient, first you have to either wash your hand, or if washing is not possible all the time, we can use alcohol hand rub, sanitizer. So before touching the patient, before clean or aseptic procedure, when you are performing any aseptic procedure, you should perform hand hygiene. Third is after body fluid exposure of the patient. Fourth is after touching the patient. And fifth is after touching the patient surrounding. So when you are visiting patient on the bed, you need to perform hand hygiene. So we have seen when to perform the hand hygiene. Now we will see how to perform it. So these are the various steps of hand hygiene. You can perform it by 2 ways. One is soap and water, and if it is not available, we can apply the hand rub, that is alcohol based hand sanitizer. The steps are same in both the procedure, but when you are using soap and water, you need to dry it with a single use paper towel. So the steps you can see, first is you wet your hand with soap and water, then palm to palm, then back to palm, both the side. Then step 4 is interlaces the finger, then you interlock the finger with palm, thumb, the rotational movement in both the hand, and finally scrub your nail on the palm, both the hand, one by one. So that is the procedure. You can watch this procedure in this video, which is by WHO. It shows all these steps.
Hand washing should take you about 1 minute. Use a timer or count from 1 to 10 in each of the following steps. Wet hands with water and apply enough soap to cover all surfaces of the hands. Let the water run smoothly to avoid touching the tap later on. Rub hands palm to palm to obtain a good quantity of foam. Then rub right palm over the back of left hand with interlaced fingers, and vice versa. Rub again palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Rub the back of your fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked, repeating this action for each hand. Rub rotationally left thumb clasped in right palm, and vice versa. To clean the tips of the fingers, rub rotationally backwards and forwards with clasped fingers of right hand in left palm, and vice versa. Rinse hands thoroughly with running water. Dry hands thoroughly with a single-use towel. If the tap is not elbow operated, use this towel to turn off the tap without touching it directly. Your hands are now clean and safe.
To remember this process easily, this is the Suman. If you make it in Hindi or Gujarati, S stands for Sida, because first we use palm to palm. Then other is U, that is Ulta ya Unda, that is your palm is touching to the back, so both the hand. Then M is Muthi, so one back of the finger with the palm. Then A stands for Angutha, the rotational movement, and N stands for nail, when you are rubbing the nail in the palm. So this would help you to remember the process. PPE, various personal protective equipments. These are the list of various personal protective equipments. I am not going in the detail of this because you will have a separate session on the donning and doffing of PPE. So you will learn the use and of various PPE in detail in that session. Cough etiquette. It is very important and very important to educate your patient also regarding proper cough etiquette, because the normal reflex that when somebody is coughing or sneezing, they try to cover the mouth or nose with hands. Now that is not the proper technique, because your hand or the would be touching then to many surfaces. So the proper technique is either use tissue. The tissue should be disposable and it should be thrown, and if it is handkerchief, it should be washed. It should not be reused. Or you can use your sleeve while coughing if tissue is not available, because this part would not touch to many surfaces. So when there is coughing, there should be this. And the wearing of the mask at the OPD area only, if patient would be given mask, so they would not be coughing and spreading the infection to other. And after hand hygiene after coughing and sneezing. So that is the cough etiquette. You need to educate all the patient regarding this. Now cleaning and disinfection. Basically, sodium hypochlorite is excellent virucidal chemical. So most of the time you will see that hypochlorite is used like floor, wall, ceiling, linen, toilet, etc. The concentration is 0.1 to 0.5%, but care should be taken that hypochlorite is highly corrosive material, that chemical. So when you are using it in some areas where your costly instruments are there, like OTs, and their hypochlorite should not be used because it would do the corrosion to the costly instrument. There you can replace hypochlorite with bacillocid, that is glutaraldehyde solution, or even detergent, soap and the detergent would also excellent, it would kill the virus easily. So that is cleaning and disinfection of various environmental surface. Now the biomedical waste, it is very important. The guideline is the same. There are 4 color coding system. All infectious, non-plastic, non-sharp waste would be there in yellow bag, that would be incinerated. Then infectious plastic and non-sharp waste would go in the red bag, that would be autoclaved. Glass and metal implants would be in blue, and sharp would be in white color translucent plastic material. So all needles, blades, etc. would be discarded in this material. There are some special guidelines for COVID, because when you are using bag for COVID, it should be double layered bag. So you have to use 2 bags at a time. The bag should have separate label of COVID-19 waste. So the person who is handling would be aware. Inner and outer surface of bag should be disinfected with sodium hypochlorite. When you are disposing your PPE after doffing, you have to be very careful. All the plastic materials like gloves, plastic apron and goggles should be discarded in red bag, while the non-plastic items such as mask, gown, cap and shoe cover should be discarded in yellow bag. So that care should be taken when we are doffing the PPE. Environmental decontamination is very important, because this is a respiratory viruses and it spread via droplet. So if droplet is settled on inanimate surface, we are touching that, and with the hand of the healthcare worker it would spread. So all the surface can serve as a potential reservoir of pathogen. So cleaning and disinfecting the environmental surface is most important step, because it reduces the healthcare associated infection. Very important thing, your mobile phone. If it is not needed, don't carry it with you in the clinic. If it is needed, it is highly advisable you have to clean the screen or the surface of mobile phone with the alcohol wipe. So you are not carrying the virus with you on the mobile phone. So that care should be taken. Same way, if you are using laptop, the screen and the keypad, you should not use any other chemical because it may damage. So simple alcohol wipe would do the work. Some of the other thing which we will be using in the clinic or the hospital, like stethoscope. Again, hypochlorite is the best for the inanimate surfaces, but these are the important instrument. We should not use hypochlorite, so it should be alcohol based rub or the spirit soap. It can be cleaned with that. BP cuffs, detergent and the hot water, thermometer, detergent and the water, or alcohol rub can be done. Injection and dressing trolley, detergent and the water duster with alcohol, 70% alcohol, and by that way you are cleaning the environmental surfaces. So at the end, what is the take home message from today's session? Number 1, use PPE, that is personal protective equipment, judiciously as per the need, as per your exposure. You need to use PPE. Prevent environmental contamination by containing the respiratory secretion. Patient needs to educated properly so they would not spread the respiratory secretions. Manage biomedical waste as per existing biomedical waste management rules. Your immunity plays vital role, so make sure that you are not having fasting or anything, and you are taking proper nutrition so that your immunity is good. Proper cleaning of your mobile phone while you are going back at home after duty, because you are not taking, this is not only for coronavirus, it should be done for each and every, because any infectious agent, because we are operating mobile with hand, and if our hand is contaminated, it would be there on the screen. So that screen needs to be clean. And last but the most important part is the proper hand hygiene, because that is the key by which you can contain any infection, not only about coronavirus. Hand hygiene should be imbibed properly, that whenever you wash the hand, you do it properly, you give enough time. For example, for alcohol hand rub, you need to spend minimum 20 seconds for alcohol hand rub, and when you are using soap and water, you need to spend minimum 40 seconds for hand hygiene. So proper hand hygiene would definitely serve the great role in the infection prevention and the control. So with this, thank you very much. For any query, you can ask us anytime. Thank you.